Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Hina coming to you from the Master Shah Dow Center here in London. And we have a very special guest for our show today. As most of you know by now, I think, the London Center is having an Open Spiritual Channels workshop in January 7th to 9th in 2022. So please mark your calendars if you haven't already. And with the London Center and everything that's happening, all our workshops right now are solely online. So one of the perks of having online workshops is that we get students from all over the globe. And if you're sleeping during that time, we also have recordings of these workshops. So one of our favorite students who comes to pretty much, I think, the last 3 or 4 Open Spiritual Channels workshops we've held is Linda Aloba. Now, Linda lives in Washington, D.C., the United States, and she used to work for the United States military, but she was always passionate about spirituality and bringing spirituality to every aspect of life. So, hi, Linda. Welcome to the center today.
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you are. It's an honor to share my joy and passion for alignment with the spiritual aspect of life and bringing that into my daily experience. Thank you, Hina.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Now, Linda, I remember in one of the workshops, you shared an absolutely amazing story about how your open spiritual channels actually, not to be over dramatic, but actually saved your life. Can you please tell us this amazing story?
Thank you so much, Hina, for bringing that up. I had forgotten about that. Well, I used to work for the US military, and my day started very early. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be at work at 5. And this was during the winter time. And as soon as I woke up, I received a very clear message that I should go back to bed. And I was excited. I said, "Oh my God, I get to go back to sleep. Forget about them bosses. I'm going to bed." And I didn't understand the enormous impact that that single guidance was for me. I woke up later on at the regular time and called my office and said, "Hey, can you fax me so documents? I'm going to be working from home today." And the lady who picked up the phone said, "Are you for real? Have you turned on your TV?" I said, "No, because I don't watch TV a lot." And she said, "Go put on the TV and then call me back if you think you still need what you think you need." So I went, turned on my TV, and 9/11 was unfolding. What most people don't realize is that for me, that held a lot of relevance because my office was barely, you could cough in my office and hear it at the Pentagon, which is just 5 minutes away from my workplace. Imagine if I had gone to work on that day, what would have unfolded for me and all the other people that were there. I was saved on that day because I listened to that guidance that came through. And that is a very, very powerful testament to what guidance can do for you every single day. Thank you, Hina.
That's amazing, Linda. I know that most people really don't take too seriously um, messages from the spiritual world. Or, they say women have intuition and they can just know when something's wrong, or, not just women, but men as well. We call it different names. We call it inspiration, we call it intuition, but with open spiritual channels, it is so much more than that. It is an absolutely direct message. And for you, Linda, when you heard that message, it was very clear and there was no question, oh, am I just being lazy or do I just want to stay in bed? So it
No,
was very clear for you.
it was very clear.
So, how do you recommend people to go from intuition or inspiration to having very clear messages that you don't question, that okay, I need to follow this? because a lot of times we will hear stories about how this person heard this message, ignored it, and they should have listened. So how do you recommend for people to really hone in on that skill of hearing the message and recognizing that this is a clear, accurate message?
Very good point, Hina. Even I will own up to the fact that sometimes I have heard messages and not listened to it. And one of them, my life could have been lost on that day also, when I had a car accident, and guidance was that I should leave the scene before I got hit, and I didn't listen, and I got hit, and that was on a snowy day. I was born intuitive to a large extent, so my communication with the soul world has always been very strong. But I will say that the best way to do that is to connect with the London Dow Center. There is no other way. I mean, there are many places out there, many teachers out there, but I don't know about those other ones. The one that I have experienced myself is the London Dow Center, or any of the other Master Shah Dow Centers worldwide. He has 12 now, where the skill is given to you, and you get to practice, and you get to experience, and you get the mentorship and the blessings that allow your channels to blossom and grow and expand. Your accuracy is fine-tuned. You understand when you are off key and when you are fully aligned. You also get the support of a community that you can practice with. Everybody learns to practice. It's not like a one-shot deal. Once you attend the workshop, then everything is solved. You have to practice. And the way to practice is to practice in community with others like you who are learning. There's some that are going to be better, there's some that are not going to be as good, but you have the masters that are there to support you and grow you through the process. And that, bar none, is the best uh, deal you can ever get. There are many, so to say, people out there that tell you, oh, yes, I'm going to, you attend one weekend workshop and your Akashic records are going to be open to you. Huh? I don't know about that. This is the best, highest integrity, highest purity experience that I can recommend with all of my heart and soul. And anyone who knows me knows, if I don't know something 100%, I would never open my mouth to recommend it. So the London Dow Center has given me no cause for concern, no hesitation in recommending them, because I have experienced them. And so for them, 100% pure light and the greatest experience for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Linda, because I think you hit on many topics, especially for like someone like me, for instance. Before I found the Master Sha Dao Center, um, I would read, stories of different people, either spiritual beings or even today, like psychics and
Mhm.
people who could access the Akashic records, and people who just naturally were born with these gifts. But I never really thought that I could possibly have these gifts. I didn't know that we could actually learn these skills, and through Master Shah's techniques, practical wisdom, his the most important, his blessings, um, can connect us in a very direct way
Yeah,
to all this information that's around us.
yeah,
Because the Akashic records are around us. Like it's not something we can physically touch, and we can access this information in the moment.
yes.
But other people, they will claim that they could do this, and what level of accuracy
Accuracy.
or
Exactly.
specifics.
That is the key there. What level of accuracy? Some people have an accuracy of 50, others have an accuracy of 30, others have an accuracy of 70. But can all of them access the spiritual realm at an accuracy of 90% or more? I don't think so. And that is the level that the Master Shah Dao Center hopes to inspire everybody to reach. So when you are providing information or information is given to you, you can check it out yourself. And you wouldn't be making very costly mistakes like I have made some of them in my life. And there are many other people. I will share with you somebody in the military who died a few months ago. I wouldn't mention the name because he's very famous. This is somebody that I have loved, really respected as a human being, high integrity. But during the Iraq American conflict that took place a few years ago, there was information that was provided to this person from the intelligence world that was inaccurate. If this gentleman had spiritual channels, he would have been able to verify, is this information correct or not? And if that was not correct or verifiable, he would have walked a different journey. But because he didn't have that access, he made a mistake that compromised his integrity on the world stage. And that is needless. For me, I wholeheartedly believe the soul journey and the daily life come together as one. It's not separate from your daily existence. You can use it for every aspect of life. Recently, I was traveling from Toronto and I heard there was going to be a snowstorm. I packed my bags. I said, okay, let me outrun the snowstorm. I can outrun it. Yes. Linda hits the metal to the pedal. I can run it. In the morning, I immediately got a message from no other than the saints in charge of weather. Did you know that they're saints in charge of weather? Yes. The saints in charge of weather introduced themselves to me and said, stay here, do not leave. Oh my God. I eventually rearranged my plans, asked if I could stay an extra day in the place that I had rented because I had a Airbnb, right? And said, listen, the storm is coming. I have to stay. Can I stay an extra day? And yes, everything was arranged. And that's it. That's the other thing. When you follow guidance, everything has been mapped out for you. No other guest was coming. I could stay for an extra day or two. And that's what I did. And so my life was saved again. So divine intelligence and alignment is the way to go. And I use it in every aspect of life. Thank you, Hina. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Linda. I think speaking to you is just going to help so many people, not just the ones who are trying to find out more and figure out further how can I open my spiritual channels, but how actually practical and useful spiritual channels can be. With you, you've had your spiritual channels, you've had your messages save your life. It sounds multiple times.
Yes.
And the thing is, and you are very correct when you say a lot of people out there want to differentiate, and I did. I was one of those people who differentiated my spiritual practices, my spiritual life, with my physical life, but they are very much intertwined, and one affects the other.
Yeah.
Our physical life can affect our spiritual life, and our spiritual life can affect our physical life.
Yeah.
And I know for me personally, the smoother my life can go, that's, I mean, I'm definitely happier. I'm more at peace. And spiritual channels help me so much. They help me when I'm facing an issue. What's my lesson? How do I let go? What should I do? When I come to a challenge, should I do this? Should I do that? I have two choices. Which one am I supposed to do? And that is something I've struggled my whole life with. I'm a Libra, so one characteristic of Libra is we're always like trying like
Balance it.
and figuring out what is the right thing to do, what's wrong, and just trying to like we're always thinking, and then we get stuck in that analysis paralysis situation.
Yes. Yes.
So I am a typical, like, I used to be a textbook analysis paralysis situation. But having open spiritual channels has cleared up so much. And it also, I know for me personally, it helps me let go of the choices that are not, even though I may think they're the best for me or I want them, they're actually not the
Not
best
the
for me
best.
or not at that moment
Yes.
right for me.
You're
So
so right. You're so right. With spiritual channels, I've also learned that sometimes the choices, the 2 or 3 choices that I'm thinking are the best, are not even the best. Heaven's guidance would give you a completely different thing, something that was not even on your radar. And once you engage with that choice, all of a sudden things just fall into place without you lifting a finger. Your effort level is completely reduced from a 15 or 50 or 100 down to a 1. And the benefits go up to 1,000, because everything behind the scenes has been aligned for you to fall into place at the right time, at the right place, with the right people. And it's effortless. It's beautiful. It is grandiose. It is spectacular. It's like a work of art that's already choreographed on your behalf. And all you do is to step into your shoes and glide along. I mean, it is just fantastic. That doesn't make it easy all the time, because we have our own attachments and what we want to do. But you know what? It's the best way to go. I was recently, if I may share another example, I was recently drafting a letter to my boss because there was a little bit of disconnect between myself and my boss and what she wanted. And I wanted to marshal out all the points, because I'm a good writer. I'm a pretty darn good writer. So I wanted to bring it all together and say, okay, this is where we are, this is where we want to go, this is how we want to do it. And when I finished writing it, I knew this was not the best. So I redrafted a second version of this email. And even though everything was correct, grammatically, I mean, everything was beautiful, I could not hit send. I tried several times. There was just something within me that didn't match up. So I immediately connected with heaven. And before I could say a word, I got the message. The best service you can offer now is not to send it. That one sentence saved me. I didn't know who was giving me this information. So I checked guidance, and it was a very high level teacher, a saint in heaven. And that's how I was saved from catastrophic effects with between myself and my boss.
Mm.
So many other examples, so many, but I'll leave them to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for taking your time to speak to us today. And it is true, it's not just Linda who's had this experiences. I've had these similar experiences. Many people have opened their spiritual channels in the Master Shah Dao Center in London or any of the global centers. And basically, we have just used it in every aspect of our life to help us, to help life go more smoothly, to help our health, our relationship, our finances, our relationships with our boss, like our businesses. We have people like one of the center leaders here, he uses his spiritual channels to help him with business decisions. And most of the time, it's actually pretty much all of the time, it's always he's always in the plus. So it's amazing that the spiritual channels just help us in every aspect of life. And one thing for the viewers out there is that when you are opening your spiritual channels, you need to do it. You need to learn in a safe, effective manner. And there are some rules and guidelines that you must take, including who you're connecting with.
Yes.
Opening your spiritual channels is an amazing skill. It's an amazing gift that the Master Shah Dao Centers in London and globally are teaching people and are giving to people. So if you have any inclination, if you have any of that heart flutter, like, oh, I want to learn this, I want my life to go more smoother, I want to get guidance from the weather saints or the relationship saints who can make my life more smooth. And if you want to do it in a safe, effective manner, and actually the fastest way is to follow Master Shah's techniques, his wisdom, his practices, and the most powerful aspect that just pushes all these techniques to a whole other level is Master Shah's creation of the Tao calligraphy healing field, which automatically removes the blockages, unclogs those channels so we can receive clear, positive information to improve every aspect of life. So thank you so much, Linda, for your amazing and inspirational stories. Now you have me excited for the workshop. We have a workshop coming January 7th to the 9th in 2022. So please join us. The information will be in the links. We also have an introduction to opening your spiritual channels this Saturday, December 18th. It starts at 10 a.m. United Kingdom time. So please join us and let the Master Shah Dao Center here in London serve you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. See you soon.
Awesome. Woo-hoo-hoo.